Hello YouTube. It's 10:26 p.m. Saturday night, December 4th, 2021, and I'm walking home from the Wander Inn. I really didn't have a plan for today after beyond getting the rent money order to my landlord, provided I was able to get one. So I had a couple things I was thinking about doing, which I think I mentioned a couple videos ago. I was thinking about going either out to Bullock's to try to use my computer for a while, and then maybe figure out some fun for the evening on the west side, and hopefully hook up with somebody who could make sure that I'm not stranded and on foot out there. But that didn't happen. Ron invited me to come out to his show again, but he I don't know, I asked him to call me and he never did, never texted me back. And I told him that it's just the bus schedules are just too dicey, and it's just too risky that I would get stuck out there, stranded on foot, waiting for Sunday buses to happen. So yeah, it didn't happen, which is a bummer. I would have really liked to have hung out with Ron tonight. In fact, I'd asked him to call me on the second Obama phone and pass that number to him, because my regular phone number, it kind of works. Like, it goes to the first Obama phone. It's the phone number I've had for like 13 years. It's on all my karaoke stuff and my web pages and whatnot. In fact, it's even on Craigslist, although everybody, so the two responses to my Craigslist ad have both been come as text as opposed to phone calls. I don't know, it's possible they called me, to be honest. It's very difficult for me to get calls on that number because I can never ever hear that thing ring. Even when the ringer is on and turned up at full volume, like, I, generally speaking, just simply don't hear it. Dang, I just missed the light. Wait. The other problem I have with that is, if it's in my hand, or I'm like right next to it in a quiet environment, I might hear it ring. But I found that I'm frequently turning off the ringer, and I don't even know how I'm doing it. I'm just bumping something on the text screen on the touch screen, and it turns it off. That phone is very difficult to use, to put it mildly. So anyway, I'd sent him, asked him to call me on the second Obama phone, and I don't even know that number. But I was able to look it up in the settings, and had he called me on that, I'm sure I would hear it ring. It's got a very loud ringer, and so far I don't think I've ever inadvertently turned it off. So, but no, he never called, which is a bummer. I was gonna suggest that because he's been really curious about, like, I know he's kind of struggling trying to get his, I guess he didn't host for a while, so he's struggling trying to get his song catalog up to date and whatnot, and he has been asking me to help him with software and just karaoke stuff, and I'm certainly down to do it, and I'm even down. I was going to suggest is that I can get to his show, not a problem. I probably can't now this late at night. It's 10:30. Yeah, I don't think I can make it there this late, especially on a Saturday at this point. Like, I can probably get myself as close as probably get myself to about to the end of the light rail at 19th and Dunlap, and then I would probably be I'd probably end up missing the last westbound bus on Dunlap. As it is when I went to see him on Wednesday night, the way the transit was scheduled, I should have transferred onto the next to last. And it seems like I left for him at around 10 o'clock, started walking from the post office at around 10 o'clock, and had time to walk around the post office complex to the light rail station that's at about over by Ability 360 on Washington Street. It's just a little bit like, I think they call it 50th Street Station, which is funny because there is no 50th Street there, but it's at like 5,000 East Washington. But anyway, so I had time to walk there, and then the train showed up. In fact, I think I was shooting video. I was vlogging at that point in time, and that train showed up like right as I was approaching the platform, so that was pretty awesome. But it ended up, it was running, according to the app, it was running just a little bit late, and then it got progressively late as it was going along the line to the other end of to the northwest end of the line. And you gotta love how a city this big only has one light rail line, just one. Anyway, and in so many ways it's not even as functional as the buses are, but yeah, it got progressively later and later. Had it arrived on time, I would have been able to transfer to the next to last westbound Route 90 and taken that to the end of the line, or what is at least the end of the line at night at 43rd Avenue. But I missed it. I was actually watching using the Valley Metro app, and I was watching the buses and the trains in real time, and watching it was progressively getting late and realizing, yeah, I'm not going to make that transfer. And I think about the time I was at Northern, so just a mile away from the station, that's when I saw the Route 90 go past. And it was running a little bit early. It left the stop about 2 minutes early. The only thing that frustrates me more than buses that are late is buses that are early. Because there's nothing like getting to the bus stop on time, or getting to a transfer point from another bus on time, to find out that the bus that you needed to get on, that you're transferring to, that you got there on time for, has already gone because it left early. In fact, that bus driver I got in an argument with early Friday morning. I kind of cussed him out for that, after he's the one who initially started being a complete dickhead. I think I talked about it on that video, which I just now got uploaded. I'm kind of behind on these. I kind of cussed him out for leaving 4 minutes early, and then he's like, well, that's not even a time stop. So obviously there's a conflict between what they're told they're supposed to do and what the app says they're doing, because the app didn't show that bus was running early. And had I not been to the stop, like 7 minutes early, had I got there, I would have missed that bus had I got there on time. And of course I was not trying to stand out there any more than needed, because I was really underdressed for the cold. It was pretty chilly out. A little underdressed for it right now. I'm wearing shorts. These don't fit me very well, so they're not very comfortable, but I'm wearing shorts, but at least I got my jacket on and I got shoes on, so socks. So my lower legs are, I don't know, I don't get as cold when they're cold compared to the rest of my body. Anyway, yeah, so I ended up, because of that bus running early and the train running late, I missed that transfer on Wednesday going out to see Ron. And anyway, so I ended up getting stuck at that corner for almost 30 minutes. And it gave me a little bit of time. I went ahead and walked inside the QT right there on that corner, got a little something to eat with the EBT card, and got a couple of beef sticks, and I forget what else, probably just a drink. Yeah, my drink money doesn't go very far with that. I mean, it's whatever. I'm not really using it up, but like because of the bus policy of drinks needing to be in a quote-unquote spill-proof container, it limits me from buying anything in a can or any fountain drink. So I end up having to buy bottled drinks with closable lids. And for whatever reason, those are always really pricey at convenience stores. So yeah, kind of sucks. I wonder what the hell that is. See a baby stroller just sitting here at the edge of the park. Weird. Probably some homeless person stole it and is using it as their shopping cart. Oh, so classy. All right, I'm on the walkway where I found a heroin needle the last time I walked through this park. It was the last time I walked through this park in this direction. Anyway, so what ended up happening? I got out of the convenience store and went to the bus stop, and there was a couple there with a dog that kept kind of getting in my business. I didn't appreciate that. And just not fond of dogs in general. But I mean, I'll give them credit; they had it on the leash, but they weren't doing a very good job of keeping it away from me. Anyway, they had the bus bench pretty much full of between them and their stuff. So I kind of sat down. The way pretty much all the bus shelters are here is you got a bench that covers, generally speaking, about 2/3 of the space underneath the bus shelter. And then the other third is just open space under the bus shelter, which I believe is for accessibility reasons. That way a person in a wheelchair or a mobility scooter can get into the bus shelter. And usually what that results in is because the bus benches have room for 2, maybe 3 people to sit on them. And of course, a person in a wheelchair is only, takes up more space. It's only space for like 1 person in the bus shelter. But because the ratio of able-bodied people that ride the bus is considerably higher, versus people in wheelchairs that ride the bus, because it's considerably higher than 3 to 1. There's usually simply no space on the bench. And then of course add to that, people that are there that aren't riding the bus, which it turns out those people weren't. Shortly after I got there, I believe they started smoking fentanyl. I mean, I could see the flames, I could smell something smoldering, and I've had the displeasure of experiencing the smell of people smoking crack and of people smoking meth, and this was a distinctly different and much more unpleasant smell, which actually surprised me because I didn't really think there were too many smells that were more unpleasant, but I was wrong. It was really, really fucking foul. And they were just standing there. They got up from their seats and basically walked to the west side of the bus shelter, and there's a little trash can there, and they just basically stood right next to it while their dog kept getting entirely too close to me as I was sitting on the cement in the spot for somebody to wait in a wheelchair, and trying to eat my beef stick and drink my juice. But yeah, they just sat there and did their drugs, and a whole bunch of police swarmed up on the bus stop for the southbound 19, and I don't really know what was going on there, but that's, interestingly enough, like when I got stranded on that side of town last week, that's the bus stop that I had to sit at for 2 hours waiting for the train to start running. And for what it's worth, the homeless people that were camped out there were, with the exception of one, were all very extremely hospitable. In fact, one woman was kind enough to let me wrap up in her blanket because I was really cold, and that was nice. And they all offered me offered to share their drugs and their booze with me, which was nice. I mean, I wasn't interested in drugs or booze, but I do appreciate the gesture. In so many ways, it seems like the homeless population is a lot less selfish than the not homeless population. It's weird how that works, but yeah, they were very, very kind, and they were very kind to me, and it made that 2 hours pass by a lot more pleasantly than it otherwise could have been. But anyway, so I'm sitting across at the stop for the Dunlap bus headed westbound, and these guys are smoking, I'm assuming blues. That's like some kind of a fentanyl pill that's we heard it's people grind it up and smoke it. I saw something on the ground that looked interesting, but it wasn't. It's just trash. Yeah, so I'm assuming that's what they're doing. I mean, that seems to be the popular street drug with the people that hang out at bus stops that aren't waiting for the bus at the bus stops. I mean, I get asked for, if I get blues all the time. Anyhow, so yeah, they and it is extra frustrating as they were standing there smoking it, so close to me that I could smell that disgusting smell. I mean, if you're gonna do drugs, is it too much to ask that you just go do that at home? Or if you're homeless, go do it in a back alley or something? Like, really, at the fucking bus stop, where I'm basically captive for 25 minutes waiting for the bus? Not cool. And of course, they left all their stuff sitting on the bench, so I couldn't even relocate to the bench and get a little bit farther away from their stinky drugs. Ended up sat there for a while. Eventually, the woman thanked him. I'm assuming thanked him for the drugs. She didn't really say what she was thanking him for. She thanked him, and then she took off on foot. And then he sat down next to me at the bus stop, which, at this point I'm kind of disgusted with him. Not only because he's got a dog that's entirely too close to me, and got his stuff taking up space on the bench, and smoking his foul-smelling illegal drugs right next to me, but he also, his pants were down past his ass, and he kept bending forward, and I don't want to see his fucking underwear. That's just inappropriate. But anyway, he sits down and he's like, "Oh yeah, those cops are over there. They'll probably be over here next." And I'm like, "Well," I said, I don't really have a problem with that." And he looked at me all dumbfounded. I'm just like, so the bus is supposed to be here in about 4 more minutes. I said, I should be gone before they get over here anyway. And he goes, oh, so you're waiting for the bus? I said, yeah, this is a bus stop. That's the only reason anybody should be here, right? And he just looked at me funny. And of course, when the bus showed up, he was not one of the people that got on the bus. So yeah, he was just there to loiter and do drugs, or perhaps sell drugs. I messaged my daughter and told her about it, and she's like, "Well, you should call the Phoenix PD non-emergency number." I'm like, and have them do what? Anyway, I was going to totally talk about why I'm frustrated with what's going on with Priscilla. She just happened to show up as I was on my way out the door from Wander Inn, which made me all the more happy to leave. And actually makes me feel better about going home, because at least I know she's not here. And it's a lot more comfortable place to be when she's not here. So, anyway, on that note, I'm almost home, so I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for coming with me on the walk. And my daughter said she's going to throw me some money to buy a concert ticket for a small show for an artist I really like tomorrow. So maybe I'll have something positive to talk about tomorrow. I hope so.